Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you to miskatonicbooks.com for sponsoring the show. Miskatonicbooks.com are your number one international purveyor of difficult to find esoteric books that have been published by independent publishers and that are maybe difficult to find because they're out of print. Maybe they've been printed abroad. Maybe they've been printed within the US and they ship abroad as well. They ship all over the world. And yeah, miskatonicbooks.com is really a fantastic resource for the occult community who want to get their hands on books that are otherwise sometimes impossible to get. Sometimes Miskatonic Books really is your only option. So go and check out miskatonicbooks.com to see what they have in stock. They also occasionally have some exclusives, such as, for example, the Hekataeon, which is now in its... I guess it's a 5th edition, and this is going to be an unlimited edition. It's the first 500 copies, which have just arrived apparently at Miskatonic Books, and it will just stay in print now, which is great news. This is the Medea Edition, and it seems like the first copies of it will start shipping out on Monday, so that's excellent news. And of course, you can go and pick up your copy directly from miskatonicbooks.com by following the link over here. And reminder that the 4th of July sale, this was a long time ago. That was ending last Sunday. So I'll let that one pass. But of course, a reminder also that the gateways through Stone and Circle are shipping as well. And I showed you those pictures last week. So yeah, great news coming out from Miskatonic Books. News from Hollythorn Press, a sneak peek at the hardback cover of A History of Irish Magic, the launch date being July 22nd, so not very long left to wait. We've got maybe a little under a couple of weeks remaining. And I think that this is a beautiful cover, really very, very pretty. I can tell that it's cloth bound, and that really is my favorite kind of binding. I love cloth bound books, and I just really like their design choice, right? In fact, I think that the Hollythorn books tend to be very beautifully done. Their hardbacks tend to be very beautifully done. So that's very, very cool. So looking forward to telling you a little bit more about that possibly in the next couple of weeks. All right, news from Martin Fawkes from Lewis Masonic, who has just received shipment of the secret Freemasonry of a priest in the Temple of Nature. Let me just click on this so you can get a slightly closer look here. If we just, give you a look at, first of all, the thickness of the book, which is quite a large book over here, and we can see that there are quite a few on that palette there. And so this is what it's about. It's the subject of this book is Johann Samuel Mund, artist, alchemist, and Freemason, and his own special interpretation of the royal art. It was in Frankfurt that Mund founded the Masonic lodge known as all of this, the Union of Loyalty and Truth of the Three Rosy Crosses, white, red, and gold, for which he developed his own doctrine with his own rituals and teachings, which have fortunately come down to us in various manuscript archives. In this book, the author provides the first complete overview of Mund's teachings, illustrated with the unique images and diagrams that he created specially for them. And that sounds really very, very exciting. So we can have a little look at what we can expect inside this book. It's certainly very beautiful, and you can see, you can just see from the edges, right, how profusely illustrated it appears to be. So that's great news. Really, really nice stuff coming out from Lewis Masonic. All right, we've got news from Crossed Crow Books, who have revealed a large number of upcoming, front pages of, covers. What? Covers for their upcoming books. And I'll just go through a few with you over here. We've got Instruments of the Craft, Mastering the 4 Tools of the Witch. All right, so for those of you who don't know Crossed Crow Books, they are rather Wicca-focused, Wicca-oriented, witchcraft-oriented, rather new imprint. Then we've got A Witch's Book of Terribles, Legends, Tales and Parables. And then we've got To Catch a Fleeting Shadow, A Witch's Guide to Fetch Work. That sounds interesting. Then we've got Confessions of Fiona, Mythology and Folklore of the Fairies. Brownies and Bogles, a compendium of enchanting fairy lore. The Magical Notary Art, Sigils, Seals, Notaries and Signatures. Defying Shadows, for witches and pagans battling cancer and chronic illness. The Cunning Craft, a tortuous path, tortuous path of the wise art. There we go. That's Nikolai de Matos Frisvold. Nice. Raven's Call, a quaint and curious anthology of forgotten lore. And Ensouling the Effigy, the Witch's Art of Inspirited Objects. You can see there's quite a large number of books coming out very, shortly. I think these are due out in the spring. All right, so we've got a little while before some of these are out at least. Good. We've got news from Justin Sledge, Dr. Justin Sledge from Esoterica. Many of you will have seen his recent video over here, the Occult Philosophy of Agrippa Summer Seminar. So Justin Sledge is offering a full summer seminar with just hours and hours of very well-informed academic teachings on Agrippa. If you haven't seen the video, I strongly recommend going to check it out. I'll obviously leave a link in the description. It sounds very exciting, very, very exciting. And if you're interested in the 3 books of Occult Philosophy of Agrippa, of course, go and check it out. If you're interested in the history of occultism in the West, go and check it out. And if you like Dr. Justin Sledge's work at all, go and check it out. It's through his Patreon. So if you go over to patreon.com/Esoterica channel, then you'll find all the various levels. And essentially, he's making these courses, this extensive class, multi-part class, available to his Patreon supporters, which is really very, very cool stuff. Very, very nice. And then, of course, you'll get access to all the rest of the good stuff over there. So if you just scroll down a little bit, you'll find the details about the Agrippa class announcement down here. There we go. And the class details just a little bit further up. Great stuff. Super. All right, let's move on to news about, from the more mass market books. Right. This one's called The Adept Initiate's Guide to Luxor Temple, Experiencing the Temple of Man Using the Esoteric Symbolist Approach. It sounded really interesting to me. I had a brief read of the blurb over here, the description of the book over here. It sounds really quite cool. So this came out just last week, I guess. The book reveals the often overlooked esoteric and symbolic dimensions of Luxor Temple, showcasing its intricate architecture and art as reservoirs of sacred wisdom. I think that, anyone interested in the esotericism of Egyptian sacred architecture. You're going to be probably quite interested in this one, right? So let's see, this captivating guidebook takes readers beyond traditional academic analysis, offering a profound spiritual journey through one of Egypt's most intriguing ancient sites by extending the symbolist approach pioneered by Schwaller de Lubitsch and John Anthony West. NEXT reveals the temple's architecture, artworks, and hieroglyphs as complex symbols that convey ancient insights into the universe, human existence, and the divine. Sounds exciting, right? Potentially exciting. And if you do pick up the book, maybe go and leave a review on Amazon. There are just 2 ratings on there for the moment by 2 people who seem quite impressed with it so far. Well written, researched, great for newcomers to the subject, or those well acquainted. Very nice. Thank you, Amazon customer. All right, what else we have? Finding Radical Wholeness. Yeah, this is a new book by Ken Wilber. I'm a fan of what Ken Wilber does. I think that his approach is it certainly plays well with the way that I think of the world, the universe, and all of that. Finding Radical Wholeness, the integral part to unity, growth, and delight. From integral philosopher Ken Wilber, practical guide to finding a radical and complete wholeness through a path that blends integral theory, psychology, spiritual practice, and shadow work. So very much in line with Ken Wilber's previous important work, right? There we are. So I'll leave you to read the entire blurb. But my guess is that this is going to be, once again, a very important bit of writing, right? Very important bit of Western philosophy. Well, actually, it's Western meets Eastern philosophy, isn't it? So according to Ken Wilber, the perpetual human search for growth and fulfillment is often incomplete. In this book, Wilber integrates the wisdom of spirituality, psychology, shadow work, science, and integral theory to offer us a path to a radical and complete wholeness of waking up, growing up, opening up, cleaning up, and showing up. So that seems to be the driving idea here, right? Okay. Great. I'd be surprised if I don't end up picking this one up myself. Okay. News from Grant Morrison, which is just covered in advertisements. You can see that I've been looking for lights. Pro Age Adaptogen. That I've not been looking for that, I promise. What? Anyway, Grant Morrison will make magic happen for you via Kickstarter. Grant Morrison is to help a new crowdfunding scheme on Kickstarter to fund the post-production of the documentary Magic Show. So that's the whole idea behind this. Grant Morrison, whom you may know as one of the pioneers of chaos magic, at least one of the people who made chaos magic very popular in the late 90s through his series of comic books, The Invisibles. He was also a writer on many of the DC superhero comics. Well, he's making a show, called The Magic Show. There we go. And he's looking for funding for the post-production of the show. And to do so, he's launching a Kickstarter. It's not launched quite yet, but it's on its way. And it seems like the highest tier, right, of the Kickstarter is going to be a personal spell for just 3 customers, performed by Grant Morrison. So if you want Grant Morrison to perform a spell for you, this could be your chance. I'm guessing those top tiers, well, depending on the price, of course, but I'm guessing that those top tiers will go pretty fast. The campaign needs to raise $150,000. But there are other levels, from what I understand from what I read here, right? You can read the whole article. I'll leave a link down below for you to be able to do so. But yes, I'm guessing that this get a spell done for you by Grant Morrison isn't going to be $50,000. If it is, maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some people out there who are prepared to pay $50,000 for a spell. I'd just be surprised if that really was the price, right? I'm just joking here, right? In fact, I'm not even joking. I've just got no idea, no idea at all. I've got as much of an idea as you have. All I know is that he's after $150,000 to fund the post-production of the documentary Magic Show, and one of the options is going to be to get a spell by him. So that's quite cool. I have been looking at carpets, however. Yeah, there we go. Here's a picture of Grant Morrison, in case you forgot. There we are. Yeah, no, I've already got the sofa. Thank you very much. Kills me, these websites are just, you can barely see any information because of all the advertisements, right? Anyway, Sway tokens, part 2. This is a follow-up to part 1, presumably. 2-sided metal tokens designed to aid you in moments of indecision. This is a Kickstarter by the partner or wife of one of the Foolish Fish members. So yeah, let's definitely support that. They are essentially coins. They're when you flip a coin to make a decision, these are kind of fancy versions of simply that, but fancy in a nice way. We've got this. What's the name of that show? It's called Supernatural. Right, yes, Supernatural. There's Supernatural one, and then you've got the Labyrinth one, which is. So I don't know Supernatural. Right, I've never watched Supernatural. I'm guessing I probably should watch Supernatural at some point. We got the Mark of Cain and the anti-possession pentacle on this first one. So this is the one that is now available on the Kickstarter, right? But there's a stretch goal of $800. I think they're already at 500 and something. Yeah, 577. So not very far. Once they get to $800, they will move on to the second. Onto the first stretch goal, the second coin, which will be a labyrinth-inspired coin, which I think is great. And so on one side you've got the Jareth side, and on the other side you've got the Sarah side, and you've got this "it's not fair" going around the Jareth side, and then you have no power over me. Going around the Sarah side. I think that's really nice, and I like the design on these. And then of course the never-ending story with the Orin side and the Gmork side. Very, very cool stuff. So yes, just a little bit fancier than flipping a quarter or whatever it is that you normally flip. So that's very cool. Very, very nice. There's some stickers along the way. Good stuff. And then finally, my board game of the week is Cults of London. So it's Historica Arcanum, Cults of London. They're calling it a cutthroat strategy game where the players take control of occult cabals vying for the control of Victorian-era London, conduct rituals, slay eldritch horrors, and plot assassinations. It's asymmetrical, from what I understand. And the main mechanics seem to be deck building and area control. So that's pretty cool stuff. I recommend checking out the little video that they've made if that sounds of any interest to you. It looks. I mean, the topic is cool, isn't it? You're incarnating various occult factions in London in the Victorian era, and that sounds just like my cup of tea. Very pretty stuff. There we go. That's what I've got for you this week. Thank you ever so much for watching. Once again, don't forget that you can book a one-to-one conversation with me if you'd like to talk about anything, whether it's your own spiritual path, or you're looking for recommendations for what your next steps in your practice, magical practice, should be. If you want some recommendations for books, then of course, right, just the links for all of that are down below. Also, if you'd like me to read your tarot and find out what you're maybe not paying attention to, and that the cards maybe think that you should be paying attention to, then give me a call. Just check out those details down below. If you're a member watching on the Thursday, then you can probably still get that coupon, right? That money off, 25% reduction code that I gave you last week. But it's up until the Friday tomorrow, Friday 12th, right? And you have to book 24 hours in advance. So I don't know, maybe there might be one or two places remaining with using that code. The code was FF Summer Sun, all capital letters, and you can get 25% off any 1 hour conversation with me. And don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and consider supporting the channel through Patreon. That would be very, very kind if you have that opportunity, if you have that ability. Thank you for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking on my face. I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves and of each other. See you soon. Bye bye.